What's up, guys? I'm Caden with Crypto Now or Never, and welcome back to another update on Hoppy. If you enjoy this style of content, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. As always, none of this is financial advice. Let's get into it.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want.
Okay, so it's actually been a little while since I've covered Hoppy. Hoppy is currently sitting at a $7 million market cap. And honestly, the reason I haven't been covering Hoppy is I just wanted to see how things would play out. And I know Hoppy's bleeding, but to be honest with you, it's hard to blame Hoppy specifically. If you just look at the crypto market right now, pretty much everything outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum are bleeding. And right now, even Bitcoin and Ethereum are bleeding. But what you have to understand is, for example, if you look at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, it was just a couple days ago that we were down at 39, fearful. If you actually put things in perspective, that is insane to think about. It was only back in April that Ethereum was down at $1,380 per coin. And even right now, after the pullback, it's at $4,380. This is why perspective is crucial in this market. People are fearful just over a little pullback. Now, if you look at an indicator like this right now, you'll see altcoin season is 51 out of 100. But by definition, Ethereum is an altcoin. And this is where it's interesting because 51 is not super high, but it's also not super low. But if you guys over the last few months have not been invested in Bitcoin or Ethereum, you haven't really noticed the breakout. Just like when you look at Hoppy right now, it's been bleeding. But again, it's not just a Hoppy thing. If you come over here and you look at meme coins in general, pretty much everything's been bleeding. If we look at the Pepe chart, you'll notice that Pepe actually had a very nice spike in April. But if you come over here and you look at the Hoppy chart, Hoppy also had a very nice spike in April. However, since April, Hoppy has pretty much just been bleeding. You look at Pepe, since April, it's pretty much just been bleeding. No, it hasn't been bleeding to quite the same extent. However, Pepe is naturally a stronger project than Hoppy anyways. And that's not meant to be disrespectful towards Hoppy, but Pepe is one of the strongest meme coins out there. But even Pepe right now is back under a $4 billion market cap. That's how much everything is getting sold off. So when you look at a project like Hoppy, again, it's just hard to put any blame on Hoppy. I'm not saying it's performing super well, but pretty much everything is getting hammered. So for Hoppy specifically, you can see that it's actually holding support pretty well. You could argue that it's getting close to forming a quadruple bottom. That shows that this 6.5 million range has actually been major support in the past. So if the market does continue to drop, it'd be awesome if Hoppy could hold that 6.5 million range. Is it guaranteed that it holds that level? No, it's not. But it has definitely worked 3 different times in the past. Now, if we come over here and we look at the Hoppy X account, nothing has changed. They're still grinding every single day. And I absolutely have to show respect in that regard. And they're also onboarding influencers as well. So I know a lot of people would just love to see Hoppy explode, but that's just not the reality of the market right now. I do just want to make sure you guys actually understand the Ethereum chart. So if you look at the weekly time frame, yes, Ethereum did put in new all-time highs, and this is the highest close we've ever had. However, it only broke all-time highs for a few hours. If you actually zoom out, you could argue that this is a macro double top for Ethereum. So the main thing that I'm watching for Ethereum right now is to see if it can hold this 4,100 to 3,800 range. I think this could be a textbook support and resistance flip if we can. But the reason that Ethereum does need to pull back a little bit is if you look at the RSI and stochastics, they're both getting very overbought. The stochastics are still pinned in the overbought region, and they've been pinned since late May, and it's currently September 4th. So it's not surprising to see Ethereum pulling back. We'd just love to hold that 4,100 to 3,800 range. And to kind of point out what I was saying about Ethereum and the rest of the market, if you look at others against Ethereum, this is exactly why. You can see that others against Ethereum have been bleeding since April. And this right here is a perfect chart to explain why it is not altcoin season right now. Bitcoin had its run, Ethereum is having its run, but we haven't seen altcoins start to rip. You can see that the RSI and stochastics are extremely oversold on the weekly time frame. This does lead me to believe that we could absolutely start to get a bounce. I'm not saying it's guaranteed to happen right now, but I also wouldn't be shocked if we at least come up and retest the 200-day moving average. Regardless, that could be a very nice bounce for altcoins in general. But honestly, this chart right here is as clear of a picture as you can get for the altcoin market right now. They have been bleeding against Ethereum. There's no denying that. That's why when you look at projects like Pepe, when you look at projects like Hoppy, everything is just red. We have not seen profit rotation yet. But honestly, it makes perfect sense because why would whales rotate right now? You could argue that obviously they should start to rotate at resistance. However, why would you rotate if this is what the Ethereum chart looks like since April? There's just no need. But honestly, that's about it for the update today. Just make sure you understand the overall market right now. I know everyone wants to see Hoppy, Pepe, their conviction plays, just everything that they hold explode. But right now, that's just not the reality of the market. You have to understand how profit rotation works. But if you guys are interested in Hoppy and just getting into projects super early in general, then as always, I recommend taking a look at my Discord. As a lot of you guys know, I first posted a buy alert for Hoppy at a $580,000 market cap, and Hoppy ran up to 147 million, which is a 253x. So if this kind of community interests you, the link is right here on my YouTube homepage. It'd be a blessing to have you guys in here with us. But that's about all. Let me know down in the comments how you guys are feeling about Hoppy. If you found this content valuable, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day.